welcome to Insider's Insights. I'm Jenner Maher, Business Development Consultant at Charlie Bravo Aviation. Today, I have the pleasure of speaking with Jorge Cruz. It's great to have you, Jorge.
Thank you, Jenner. It's a pleasure.
Is there anything that you'd like to highlight about your background?
Well, I've been flying since 1991, and I did not take the airline route. I decided to just stay with the small planes, business jets, private air transportation, and made a career out of it now. It's coming up on 31 years.
Wow, that's so impressive, 31 years. How many hours have you flown? Do you know?
I just last year, actually, I just crossed the threshold of my 10,000 hour. So normally like a airline pilot would probably fly 25,000 hours in their career or even more.
Yeah.
For a corporate pilot, for somebody that flies private air transportation, it takes a while to get to 10,000 hours. So
yeah.
Just crossed that line last year.
Wow, congrats. That's awesome. So, and which aircrafts have you flown?
So I've flown primarily Bombardier made aircraft. It all started years ago in 1994 when my very first jet. I was a co-pilot in a Learjet 31. It was a fairly new aircraft back then. And I flew that one in Mexico for a very nice family that took me and gave me that opportunity to have my very first jet. And it was a really nice jet. But that developed into staying within the Bombardier family of aircraft. Flew pretty much most of the Learjets that were made in the 90s, Lear 60, the Lear 45, and also flew a Challenger 601 and the Challenger 300. So that's been my experience, just one brand.
Okay. Well, let's stick with the Challenger 300 today. Can you tell me a little bit about its performance?
Sure. I love the 300, and the reason is not. I don't think I'm the only one that could say that. You can already see that there's so many of them that were made and are being made, and there are variants from the 300. Now it's a 350, and the newest variant I think is going to be the 3500. I haven't read much about that one, but it's basically the same platform. It's a very pilot-friendly airplane, and customer-friendly as well. The performance of this aircraft, you could take this airplane pretty much anywhere. There's only been one airport that I haven't been able to take the jet, this 300, and that was in South America, at an airport called Cusco, and that's because the elevation of that airport exceeds the limitation of where you can operate this airplane for takeoff and landing. But you take it to the mountains. It's Aspen. It's got great performance. You can take it in short runways, you name it. And you can do long flights as well.
So to that point, what's the furthest mission that you've completed in the Challenger 300?
So the furthest mission that I've completed was a flight from Cologne, Germany to Bangor, Maine. And that was not the plan. The plan was to stop in Gander, Canada, and we were just ferrying the aircraft from Europe back to the United States. The longest leg was for sure that one, from Cologne to Bangor, Maine. It was 7 hours and 43 minutes long, and we landed with 1,800 pounds, and it was completely VFR. We checked the weather before we made that decision to go into Bangor in lieu of Gander, but that was the longest flight I ever did on the 300. And that was at maximum range cruise. So
yeah, almost 8 hours. Wow.
Right.
So what would you, if you had to add or remove anything from the Challenger 300, what might those things be?
If I were to add or remove something from the 300, that's hard to tell because, I came from different airplanes that were somewhat challenged on, taking as many people as you could fill the aircraft with. and try to make it as longer of a distance as you could. The 300 does have some limitations. You cannot fill the 300 per se and fill it up with gas or fill it up with fuel at the same time. The 350, however, they have increased the total weight limit for takeoff and zero fuel weight limit as well, and that fixed the issue. So this plane really has been made to accomplish all sorts of really good missions and maximizing, the use of every seat, if you will.
Yeah, sure. Well, thank you so much for joining me, Jorge. We are always looking to hear from other insiders. So if you own, pilot, manage, finance, maintain, or insure aircraft, we want to hear your insights. Visit wepush10.com/insider insights to submit what you love or hate about any aircraft.